Hey everyone, it's Brigie from BBQ, and today we're gonna make this elegant surf and turf Eiffel Tower, so stay tuned. So first things first, we're gonna prepare our smoker or grill for a high heat cook before we prep our proteins. Next, we're gonna get all our proteins, seasonings, and ingredients together. Today I am adding a binder to my steak. It's 100% optional. I found this lemon infused olive oil that's not only going to complement the steak, but it's going to complement the seafood. If you do end up using a binder, just gently massage it into the steak, flip, and repeat. Now let's talk about seasonings. You can use any type of seasonings. Me personally, I just prefer salt and pepper. Especially with this specific cook, I don't want any additional flavors to overpower the seafood. Our goal today is to have balanced flavors between all three proteins and of course that real smoke flavor. Next, it's the lobster tails. This specific tail gave me such a hard time when I was trying to prep it. I'm going to show you with this other one I have to my side. Now, I do want to warn y'all to please be very careful. The shells of the lobsters can be very sharp. But to prep them, all you're going to do is cut all the way down to the tail, and then you will do a horizontal split and remove the meat from the shell. Okay, so cut all the way down to the shell. Now a horizontal split, so from side to side of the tail. Again, be careful, the shell is super sharp, so you're going to separate the meat from the shell. Now the safest way I do it is I guide my finger along the shell between the meat and just glide it all the way down to separate. Now you're going to open up the shell and pull the meat out. Lobster meat is pretty delicate, so try to be gentle when you're doing this step. Now you're just going to close the shell underneath it and spread the meat. And now it's actually starting to look like a lobster tail. Now before we get to the seasoning part, you can see they're pretty dirty, so we're going to give them a good cleaning. Alright, after you're done cleaning them, we can get to the seasoning. Just a light drizzle of that lemon infused olive oil. You can also use traditional olive oil. You can even use room temperature butter if you don't have olive oil. Now this is my favorite seafood seasoning when it comes to surf and turf. But if you have your own personal favorite, use it. This is just mine. And now you're just gonna heavily season each tail. Last but not least, we are going to get a moistened cedar plank. I recommend soaking these planks for at least 2 hours. The longer you soak them, the better. Now let's get to the shrimp. We are going to repeat the same steps that we did for the lobster. Olive oil, favorite seafood seasoning, mix. Don't forget to soak your skewers as well. Again, the longer, the better. If you can, try to get some really good sized shrimp. That way, during the skewering process, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. I am apologizing now. It's easier to poke through the fattest part of the shrimp, and we're poking the fattest part to prevent them from falling off the skewer. Also, don't forget to leave some room at the end. Alright, here's the fun part. It's time to grill. Today I'm using my Oklahoma Joe's reverse flow firebox, and we're going to crank up the heat to 400 degrees. Once your fire is nice and hot, you can add your grate along with your steaks and get to grilling. These are pretty thick steaks, but we're going to do 5 to 7 minutes per side or until the internal temp reaches 135. I prefer medium rare, but you can definitely grill your steaks to your preference. Now that's a pretty steak. Allow your steaks to rest, and now it's time for the lobster tails. We're gonna treat these tails like a steak, 5 to 7 minutes or until it reaches an internal temp of 140 degrees. I really wish y'all can smell this. This smells so amazing, and look at that beautiful color. Okay, we're almost done. It's time for the shrimp. 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Even though these are larger shrimp, remember they can easily overcook, especially at these higher temps. Now, if you want to get festive, it's time to get your plates and any decorations you would like. Dress your plates with your preferred sides. Place the steak directly on top of your preferred sides to start forming the base of our Surf and Turf Eiffel Tower. Next, place the lobsters directly on top of the steak. Now you're going to insert your skewer directly in the middle of the lobster and steak. If needed, don't be afraid to adjust the shrimp. Just make sure you leave some room on top for the roses or the flowers of choice if you're being decorative. Now this step is completely optional, but I combined some melted butter, some garlic, Parmesan cheese, and parsley. And you're just going to drizzle above our tower. If you want your taste buds to explode, I highly recommend doing this step. Now last but not least, it's time to decorate. I left about ½ inch to an inch of the stem of the rose, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna directly insert it into the skewer, just like that. Alright guys, so that's it. We created this super easy yet elegant dish for our next special day. I hope y'all like this recipe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time guys, enjoy.